Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and we're talking football.
We're a couple of football fans. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our discussion on the Brendan Sorsby case with Texas Tech. What are your initial thoughts?
I guess this might be a precedent-setting case.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, they've really, now that gambling is so prolific across the US and North America, really, and what can't happen is players betting on games that they're participating in, right? Like you can't do that. Like you
Yeah.
can't, anything that would affect the integrity of the game is like the most important thing that the NCAA has to protect against. So that's why this feels significant, because he bet on games. He bet on games in a team he was on,
Mm-hmm.
and so it could be significant.
All right. So if you already want to slice that a little bit, fine. If you bet for your team, I don't see how that really affect. Like you can't fix a game to win it. You can only fix a game to lose it. And he bet on his team to win or to cover, whatever. Either way, you can't fix that. Like, how do you fix that?
No, I get that, but I mean, like, if you bet on winning and it was to cover and you were only winning the game by a field goal and the cover was 6 points and you ended up calling an audible just to get in field goal range again or something, like there,
Yeah.
but it was thousands of bets, thousands. But so he was a prolific bettor.
Yeah. So when he bet on Indiana, I don't even think he dressed. Like, I don't even think he saw the field at the
Right.
time. So he couldn't affect the game. So I mean, I know I'm slicing it fine, but if we're going to bother like talking about this, obviously the big problem with betting on your own team is if you throw the game.
Yes.
And some speculation as players, there's been some odd plays in basketball where it seems as though a guy's not shooting because he's trying to stay under a point total.
Yeah.
So that one seems easy to fix. Prop bets in basketball.
Yeah, that was prop bets in basketball. There was a Toronto Raptors player that a couple people were injured, so he was going to play more, and his over/under points in the game was like 10 or something like that. And then he made sure not to get that. And
is this just speculation, or they've proven that?
No, that happened, and he's suspended now and everything, and so that was a big deal.
Yeah, so this whole thing, so this is just part of the bigger issue here. When everyone can bet so easily from their phone, and a prop bet like that, especially in the NBA where a third of the league is tanking, like the NBA is a joke. Like the credibility there is in the toilet. But it's and a prop bet on a player in the NBA that may or may not affect the game at all, and it's not that obvious versus like shaving points in an NFL game or in a college game. It might be more obvious when you're attempting to do that in a football game, but if you just jack up some ugly looking threes and you just miss the net in basketball, it's kind of like, okay, well, every shot, there's no guaranteed shot in basketball. It's not like a running back who's got an open lane to the end zone and they just don't run into the end zone. In basketball, if you miss a shot, it's like, okay, you're just off that day. You just missed a shot. It's easier. I guess I'm saying it's easier to get away with it in basketball.
Yeah, I would think so too. It was, it's former Toronto Raptors, John Tay Porter was banned for life from the NBA in April 2024 because he disclosed confidential health information to bettors that limited his own playing time to influence his prop bets. So like it was going to score a certain number of points, but he was going to say he was injured and that's why he wasn't going to play. And but anyway, no, I agree with you. So so what I hear you saying is that this guy Sorsby was busted for gambling, but it didn't really impact the game as far as we can tell, didn't really impact the team as far as we can tell. And if this guy gets suspended or banned from the NCAA, like that might be, how do you feel about that?
I think they have to set a precedent, or they have to make a statement here. And previously, I think people have lost eligibility for gambling on sports and especially the sport they play. I don't think they care if I don't think they care that, well, you bet on your own team. You weren't even playing. There's no way to influence winning the game. You can only influence losing the game. Therefore, okay, no harm, no foul. I don't think they view it that way. They view it as an integrity thing. They just can't have people believing games could be fixed.
Right. And there's too many layers to this. Like, you're right that he wasn't dressing and it bet on the win and thing. But players on teams know, if someone was injured and they haven't disclosed it yet, or if someone hasn't been playing well, or someone just broke up with his girlfriend, or like
Yeah.
they know that stuff. So even and so they're also really worried about sharing that information, right? So so even though he could have told someone else that, like, oh, we're for sure going to win this one, or this guy, like, they're thinking he's injured, but I know he's looked great at practice all week, like, and so there's a lot of layers to this where it could influence that game, other people betting on it, other games, so yeah, you just can't do it. So what do you think this means for Texas Tech?
I think they're gonna try to get out of paying him anything, obviously, with the NIL. The weird thing there is with NIL, it's not pay for play, it's pay for marketing. It's this
Right.
facade they're keeping up that name, image, and likeness is anything other than pay for play.
Yeah.
So they've put themselves, they as in all of college football, have put themselves in this difficult situation where they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to NIL, and the lawyer he's retained is the guy who's been just kicking the NCAA's ass on antitrust stuff.
And all
So,
kinds of stuff. He
and
represented
the
the players
NFL.
in Bountygate and the Saints,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Ray Rice.
Brady. He's represented all kinds of people. So the NCAA might get their ass kicked again here because
Yeah.
it might be, but you can't prevent this guy from making money, which is
Yeah.
the antitrust thing all over again. And now that reportedly it's up to $5 million that he might get paid here.
Yeah.
And that's not to play football. That's for
Mhm.
his marketing rights.
Mhm.
So his stance will probably be, I don't know, but it sounds like the way these things go is they're going to argue you're getting in the way of him being able to make a fair living. And that's the antitrust violation. And antitrust is that's a nuclear bomb of a law. You can apply to anything, any direction you want. So
Mhm.
these lawyers who use it, it's just such a weapon to use. So it's as much as the NCAA wants to take a stand, I don't know that it's the same when this much money is on the line with NIL, and when a player can retain a lawyer of this caliber.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there wasn't that long ago that this would have been completely not an option
Yeah,
for
yeah,
for someone like, so I think that okay, so Texas Tech uh notably has that huge booster. There's been a lot of NIL money. They
Cody
had, like, their
Campbell.
whole defensive line last year, came in. So, and Sorsby was one of the most sought after quarterbacks in the portal, and it was
Mhm.
going to be on track to, I think, make some of they said the almost the highest salaries, for this upcoming year. And so and Texas Tech was really good last year, should be really good coming into this year. So if he doesn't play, that's a pretty big hit on Texas Tech. I mean, Will Hammond's still there. He was injured, but he's not bad. But that's, they went out and got Sorsby for a reason,
Right,
and
yeah.
so if he doesn't play, that's going to be big. So, and but if they win, if they somehow have their legal case, and sometimes these things get pushed down the road, and they're like, you can play until we get this thing sorted out.
Yeah.
So, if that happens, I don't think there'll be any. I'm not concerned about Sorsby playing for Texas Tech, like for the gambling and that stuff. I think I don't think there'll be any negative impact on that, but it'd be too bad if he doesn't play for them this year.
Yeah, so I've read articles all different directions that it's highly likely he won't play, but who knows what's gonna happen with this antitrust thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how fast all that has to go down to decide if he's gonna play. Also, the coaching staff has to decide what exactly, like, how long can we just be in limbo? I mean, he's
Yeah.
in some kind of gambling inpatient rehab facility, which what the hell is that, right? It's like, what is it, just remove access? Like, it's not like he's withdrawing from a drug. Like, I know some of the psychological things are similar, but in general, I was reading a list of, like, how this type of rehab would go.
Mhm.
One of the things is limit access to the gambling apps, which, okay, so that's voluntary. How would you really control that? Another
Mhm.
one is limit access to the money. The kid already has millions, so
Mhm.
that means what is he going to hand over control of his accounts to somebody else? It's I just don't see how you really control this. He either has to want to do this or not, and
Yeah, and
that's kind of where it lands.
right, and hopefully, that's the kind of thing that would come out in some sort of program like this about what identifying your priorities, or what that's really also one of the steps of programs like that is, how has this negatively affected your life? What do you want to do moving forward? So that
Yeah.
it helps you get to the point of like, there's no benefit to me for doing this, and if I want to be
How's it
healthy going forward.
negatively affected your life? He'll be like, "Oh man, I lost a sure bet." Like
Yeah,
it's just gonna be
exactly. There's that. Oh, this parlay, I was
yeah,
so close.
so
You don't
close.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I mean, it's so anyway. I mean, listen, and I'm not going to knock any type of treatment plan. Like, good for him for going to get help. And I hope it works. So I only
do
wish
you
him the
think
best.
he's doing it because he was told to for optics?
I don't know. I think that what I'm hoping is that someone, a 20-year-old or however old he is, getting $5 million, who placed thousands of bets on an app, is a terrible plan. Like, that's we've talked about this before in this program, where like, they're this young, they make this much money. 95% of them don't go to the NFL. So then you're going to be getting some regular job where you make like 75K a year or something like that, and you just come off making 5
Millions.
million. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be it's mentally, that'd be really a challenge. So, and listen, the only thing I'll say about the gambling is that this year I put an app on my phone for us to make our picks for Saturday versus Sunday, and I was surprised. And you can use Apple Pay to like refill your account, and you
Mhm.
just click one button, and there's more money in there, and
Yeah.
then you just keep and I'm like, oh, this could be bad. Like, I could
Mhm.
absolutely see how people get into trouble. So if that guy's got that much money in the bank, like, oh, it could be really bad.
Yeah. And so there's also chatter online where different broadcasters and podcasters and I mean the big ones that actually have more than 10 people watching, that have all the betting apps as
Yeah,
their sponsors,
sponsors,
and
exactly.
they're towing this line of like not offending the betting apps, but really the betting apps are the problem. Like when
Yes.
betting is a lot harder to do,
Yeah.
the thing is, people with addictive personalities don't necessarily know they have an addictive personality until they're
Mhm.
exposed to something that
Addictive.
addictive. And when and it can be gambling, it can be smoking, it can be alcohol, it can be all kinds of different
Yep.
things. So, and I'm not excusing it, but once you go down that road and you whether or not you realize it as it's happening, someone who has an addictive personality is got a serious problem, and it's not necessarily them choosing it the way you and I would just like, I'll bet on that
Mhm.
game, I won't bet on that game. Like once it's sort of happening,
Mhm.
it's sort of a system that you're kind of along for the ride with. It's in
Yep.
control, let me say it that
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. No, it's in some of the gambling apps, the way they target people, like, they keep track of how much they're spending, and if they start spending a little bit less, they send them more promotion stuff, and like, it's just
Hmm.
ridiculous. And on the app that I use, they promote crazy parlays all the time, and parlays are known to have the worst odds out of anything.
Hmm.
And it's like the number of hits 6 different baseball players would get in a day. Like, the odds are ridiculous. So excuse me. So, like, I just, yeah, it's not, it's the addictive personality. It's that part, and you're being steered toward the worst kind of bets you can make. Like, gambling is bet. Like, you could make an argument that all the bets aren't great, but they're really, there's some that are worse than others, and then they're the ones that they're promoting, which is crazy.
Yeah. So and the ease of it too. What I
Oh,
don't get is why wouldn't he do it under somebody else's account so he can't get caught? Like
yeah,
how
I don't know.
how is it
For
like you
someone that for someone that's not dressing, and who's that young, probably didn't think about that, obviously, like, at that, so
that's my other thought when he actually, besides all the other bets, when he actually placed a bet on Indiana. I guess this is still speculation. It's not 100%. It's alleged that he bet on Indiana. I think we kind of know.
yeah. No,
But
I'm pretty sure.
my guess is when he's not dressing, he's like, how could this possibly matter? Like
No,
how
exactly.
is my bet any different than anyone else's bet? I don't even see the field. I can't materially impact the game at
Yeah.
all.
No
I'm not
one knew that name, Sorsby, that at
no,
that point, right? So,
no. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm not betting against the team. I don't have insider knowledge that a bunch of people or I'm not leveraging insider knowledge that, our starting quarterback's not going to be out there. Like, again, it's like betting for your own team to win that's like okay. That's just like everybody else. You're just hoping. You have no way to influence that. So, but yeah, I don't know. Then there's this concept if he loses his eligibility, there could be the supplemental draft.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that, and I wasn't super familiar with the supplemental draft. We don't hear about it often because if you're a highly, recruited player, then you go in the NFL draft. Even if some good players don't get drafted, but they get picked up in free agents contracts as soon as the draft is over, like Diego Pavia, was a good example for that. So the supplemental draft, and they had a couple of names that they talked about. Like there was maybe two notable
Chris Carter.
Yeah, there's
Reggie White.
Yeah, two notable names like in the last 20 years though. Like so it's pretty pretty, but yeah, like that. And listen, so do you think Texas Tech needs to go get another quarterback for the fall?
Well, okay, so from where? They're all the good ones are accounted for.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, okay, so then this brings up a totally different concept.
So yes or no, do you think they need to get someone?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so Hammond is rehabbing from an injury.
Yes.
I thought when he played, he looked like, this could be the next guy up. I mean, I thought he played well when he went in.
Yep.
And they say he might not be ready for the first couple games, but I think the schedule's pretty manageable for the first 3 games. If it takes him 3 games to get in there, it seems like they likely can. Whoever else is on the roster could probably win those first 3 games.
Yeah, he completed 63% of his passes, passed for 680 yards in limited action, 7 TDs, 3 interceptions. It's not bad. Like, and I remember when we said this last season, like when we saw him in there, he looked pretty. That was a true freshman, and he looked pretty good.
So, looked capable, yeah, for sure.
So sophomore. As long as the injury is not hampering him, I think it'd be okay. I mean, I think Texas Tech would like to get someone else, but I don't know who that would be at this point.
So this brings up that idea of what happened with that player who left Wisconsin and then went to Miami.
Yes,
and he just dropped out of Wisconsin and enrolled in Miami.
Yep.
So, but transfer portal aside, what stops a player from just dropping out of a school right now? Like let's say Texas Tech knows like soon. Oh, we're not moving forward with this guy. No matter what the lawsuit says, optically, it just looks too bad. Maybe the boosters are like, yeah, we don't want this on our school. Or maybe, I mean, the boosters probably do want him to play. Maybe the administration, somewhere in there, somebody higher up at Texas Tech says, I don't care what happens. It just looks bad. We can't have him on the team. So then, okay. So then there's the tampering thing. You can't really reach out to another player. But what if unofficially, somewhere along the line, someone like, I don't know, maybe Dylan Raiola, who's sitting behind Dante Moore, who probably didn't expect to be sitting behind Dante Moore, might be like, I could go start at Texas Tech right now. What if he just drops out of Oregon? Because you're not legally bound to stay at a school. Forfeits whatever NIL he has there, which he could just say, no, I'm just walking away. This isn't my school. This isn't my thing. And then just enrolls in the summer, for the fall semester for Texas Tech. No scholarship, no nothing, right? And then Texas Tech's like, this guy could play on our team, and we could sign him to a deal. Like, I don't see how you can't do that. Like, transfer portal aside, what's actually to stop a player from just dropping out of one school and enrolling in another school, and that administration being like, you could play football. We'd like to sign you to a marketing deal.
Yeah. So that if you're a regular student, the regular person can go anywhere. You could, like, if someone could attend one school, drop out, attend another school, like that's absolutely true. The only thing that I think is different is the letter of intent, because you do still have to sign that saying like, I'm going to be attending this school, and they need that for like the scholarship and for the enrollment.
No scholarship.
No, but I mean, I still think there is. Like, I think that they get a break on the tuition or their books or something like that.
Pay for it in full.
Yeah, but I think it's it's not all tied to the NIL. They make more than just the NIL money. But
what I'm saying is NIL. Okay, so Cody Campbell, the booster, can just sign Raiola or whoever to market whatever company he wants them to market, and that's true. And like, for example, hang on. Arch Manning has an NIL deal with Viore, a fancy clothing company. It has nothing to do with Texas.
Correct.
So the same thing can happen with Raiola.
Yeah,
and
I think.
And he just pays his own tuition. He pays everything himself.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that Oregon has to release him from his letter of intent. I still think that has to happen.
They can't force him to go to school there.
I know. Yeah,
that's my point. You can't say you're going to school here. Since when can people? You're a dean of a college. Can people not just drop out?
Yeah. No, yes, but there's no letter of intent for a mechanical engineering student.
Okay, and so the letter of intent obliges you to pay tuition and go to school. They're not paying you. You're paying them.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. No, I mean, it feels like it could be similar to that Wisconsin-Miami thing. Like he said they was going there. I'm not going to.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm enrolled at Miami.
and just as an aside too, that's a great call. Raiola going to Texas Tech.
Oh,
like
I've heard that.
I
want
to see that now.
I want to see it right now. I want to see it right now. Like him, if he's behind an actual competent offensive line.
Yeah.
Like I think he can play. I mean, he was running for his life all year at Nebraska, but he's got he can read the field. He just needs. You just need to protect him. And I think
he's a great fit. He's a great fit there.
Anyways, well, I'm only saying that one because someone brought that up. It's like he probably didn't. I don't know, when did he commit? Did he commit before Moore said he wasn't going to the NFL? It's just odd that he would choose to go sit behind somebody for a year right now.
Yes.
He would probably redshirt, right? So he won't lose this year.
I don't know. I don't know if he has that left.
Either way. So I still don't see how that wouldn't work, where somebody just willingly put it this way, he doesn't need to be tampered with. He could just look at the news and say, oh, really? Sorsby's not good. He could call them up himself, said, oh, I'd like to enroll at Texas Tech. Can I walk on to the team? He could literally walk on. Like, how is that any different than a walk? I just don't get it. I mean, the situation they put themselves in, anyone can leave at any time. Hell, a player who is starting somewhere could just walk away from all their obligations. And if you want to sue them, here, take all the money back, because he already knows he's going to make even more over there.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting point, because we I was thinking of it as like, does Texas Tech think they need to get another quarterback? But there absolutely could just be another quarterback out there saying like, hey, you know what, that situation, the Sorsby probably not going to be there, most likely. Hammond recovering from an injury. I know the NIL money is going to be there. That's a pretty good situation for someone.
Well, what about, so Raiola was just the big name one I can think of who's sitting for a year, who could easily be starting for multiple big time teams.
Yes.
But then what about other guys who are the starter, but at a smaller school, making real NIL, but not what Texas Tech could come up with, especially if $5 million all of a sudden becomes available.
Yep.
Right. So whatever school player X or Y is at, like, oh, you know what? I don't need to be here. I can leave. I can go make more money at Texas Tech. I can hand back every penny this other school handed me. So no, oh, sorry. You know what? Take all your NIL money. It's not. I'm not playing here anymore. I just don't see how. Since when can you? Who can oblige you to stay when you don't even have, like, you didn't take the money or you handed the money back? What are they going to just sue you for leaving?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what they tried to do with the Wisconsin guy, right? Like, they tried to.
Yeah, but for the money they already paid him.
Yeah.
Like, what if you just hand it back? You say, here, where's zero? It's zero. You haven't handed me a penny. Like, I've handed it all back. We're zero now. The only thing is you've hung them out to dry. But the point is, and this is the box they put themselves in, that money was never to play football.
Yeah, exactly.
That money was to use their marketing rights. And that's the box they put themselves in. The players can do this anytime they want. Legally, I just don't see how you can't say, we paid you to play foot. Oh, no, we didn't.
Yeah,
we paid you to like market things, right? It's well, I'm not there marketing your stuff anymore. So what? Or even better, I'll still market your stuff. I'm just not at your school. Like that's like how stupid NIL is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even linked to playing legally.
Even though that's exactly what's happening functionally.
Right. But what I'm saying is, because they've divided it up this way, it gives the players, I mean, we've seen players just bail on contracts anytime they feel like it.
Yes.
Right.
Or so even like, and just say, I'm going to sit out at the bowl game because I'm not making enough money. And
yeah. So, and again, it's not pay for play. So as long as the schools are going to maintain this not pay for play, legally not pay for play, then the players are like, fine, since I'm getting paid for not for football, I'm getting paid for something else. I'm just not playing, not going to your school, not playing.
Yeah.
Like Arch Manning's Viore deal. It doesn't matter that he goes to Texas.
Right.
Like he is a marketable entity regardless of what school he goes to. So that's a standalone NIL deal. Kind of like oh god, it's gonna escape me. The girl from LSU. I don't know if she was a gymnast, I think. And Dunn, Libby Dunn or something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, she had a massive deal. Now she's on some sort of TV show, but I doubt her thing had anything to do with playing a sport. She was just highly marketable. It didn't matter if she played a sport or not.
Yeah, Livy Dunn.
Livy Dunn, yeah, Livy Dunn. Yeah, so things like that, guys who transcend the sport itself, their NIL is like Shadur Sanders was like that, Travers Hunter was like that. Their deals, they had deals with independent companies that had nothing to do with. It didn't matter if they were in Colorado. Who cares? Like
that was always one of
that high profile.
That was one of the. I remember when his NIL went live on a July 1 or something like that, and it was the guy that was at Clemson, the DJ.
Ungalele,
yeah, that one. Anyway, so he was first thing he signed was with Delta, I think, like the airline, like that was the first one that came.
Yeah.
It's like but yeah, no, I'll be interesting to see if Texas Tech feels like they need to bring someone else in, or if another QB makes themselves available to go. I don't know, but either way, I also thought Hammond was good. I hope that he recovers from the injury and then can play, because either way, it's like it's nice. The Big 12 is nice when Texas Tech's good. So
yeah, and I was hoping for a big showdown between them and BYU again this year.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it doesn't mean it won't be that, for Texas Tech fans. I think it's just the profile was a bit higher when it was understood Sorsby would be the star. If we're assuming he's not going to start, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's not going to start too. That just feels like a lot of game. But you're right. I mean, if he's got the right lawyer to fight it.
Sure does. All right, so then let's play the other what if game. So if he doesn't play and he's ruled ineligible in time for the supplementary draft, what teams would bid on him? So I guess with the supplementary draft, you offer a draft pick next year.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's a lottery, and it gets grouped with the lowest 6 teams, and then the next lowest 6 teams, and then playoff teams last, and then it's based. You bid, and the bid is you offer up a round draft pick, so a 3rd round, a 4th round, whatever round next year. So if you win, that's the draft pick you lose for getting him. But I mean, who right now has such a shaky QB room that they'd pull the trigger on a supplementary draft that I guess doesn't happen till July? Yeah. If it all fell that way and it was possible, it would be July. So you're talking July, August. I doubt you would want to get him in a hopes for him starting.
No, September. I was so my first thought was whoever took Carson Beck would be, they would, that to me, like if you added Sorsby, so that's the Cardinals, because the plan right now is for them to start Brissett, and they brought in Carson Beck. But I think if you added Sorsby, because it's not going to cost much. That's the key thing too.
No.
So if you added him, I think that'd be, if they thought Carson Beck would be in the mix or to be the backup, I'd bring in, if I'm the Cardinals, I'd bring in Sorsby. I think that'd be a good fit.
If he was projected to be a high draft pick next year.
Yeah.
And now I guess we're adding in what kind of discipline would the NFL levy against him, if anything? Because
I don't think you get anything, because it all happened when he was in college, and it's not the same.
Now there's the whole optics thing. The NFL already has people thinking, oh, this is rigged. So having someone play who's gambled on sports. But I mean, they've already set the precedent with Calvin Ridley. You can pay your dues and still play. And Calvin Ridley bet while he was in the NFL, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this is less than that. It probably would be nothing.
I don't think it'd be anything, but I think it'd be one of those things, like if you get caught again, it could be bad. So,
right. Yeah. So a team would have to do their diligence. But I think any team who's just been swinging and missing at QBs, they should try to get him in the supplemental draft if he was available, like the Browns, the Jets. The more swings you take, maybe one hits. I mean, they've been swinging and missing for 20 years. You might as well at least take a few more swings, because theoretically, he would have been one of the sought after QBs next year anyways.
Exactly. And the key thing there, and we talked about this with our draft review, go back and listen to that if you haven't already, was the money's really different, the supplemental draft versus the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing with taking Jeremiah Love third. You know already what that rookie contract is, and it's over $10 million a year. So this guy Sorsby, if he was in the supplemental draft, would not be making that. So
No.
this is, and you're right. It's next year he might have been, you know, a QB that's taken second round, third round, first round. I don't know. Like we didn't think Ty Simpson was going to be.
If he lit it up this year,
Exactly.
They were thinking he could have been a first round pick.
Right. We didn't think Ty Simpson was going to be a first round pick this year, but he was. So yeah. So like this would be that the NFL wants him not to play college again and go into the supplemental draft. Like that'd be good for NFL teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that would be exciting because it would be at least something to talk about too. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen. This is going to be interesting. This is far from the end of this story.
No, but you're right about the timing, because like we're in May now. And in terms of like, if you are going to play in the fall, you're not going to play in the fall, or if you are going to the supplemental draft like that, the camp starts in August, late July, so you're.
Oh, I think if that all unfolds that way, he for sure isn't starting.
Yeah.
He's being chosen as for sure just to compete, just to be in the room. That's about it.
Yeah.
Even well, and if it falls the other way, and because has he even practiced with Texas Tech? Nothing, right?
I don't know.
Well, if he has, it's been a little bit.
If for spring ball, that's a good question.
Was he? So, well, anyways, the point is he's in this rehab thing now, which is inpatient. Like he's there. It's not outpatient,
right?
From what I understand. So he's not at the facility. He's not anywhere on campus. So how little time is he going to have to prepare if the whole thing breaks his way to stay at Texas Tech, and his lawyer just puts the NCAA over a barrel and wins somehow? When does he actually technically start practicing with the team, or gets any reps? And I know that all in the off season they don't practice. It's BS. They practice all summer. Yeah. So when does he actually get time with the team?
Yeah, he did play spring ball and threw for 4 TDs apparently.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, it's interesting. Yeah. I'm assuming Red Raider fans want him, because what's their option? I don't. No matter how good you might think Hammond is, I don't think they.
Yeah, or someone else coming in, right? But you would have if you're a Texas Tech fan, you want this lawyer to find a loophole, and Sorsby comes back, and and then that gives you you like your QB room a lot going into the fall 2026.
Or Raiola.
I love how you're doing that. Raiola, hit me up, or not, whatever. Officially,
whatever.
Like it's just I heard, someone told me, then
We'll see. I don't know. You got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Well, this story is just going to continue to unfold. Hopefully, I don't know. Do you even have a direction you want it to go?
I just thought about that now. It is interesting about the idea of an NFL team getting them through the supplemental draft and then like playing a little bit, halfway through this fall season and looking pretty good would be pretty awesome. So, but I've also liked the idea of him going to Texas Tech and lighting it up and having them be really good and having, some significant matches against BYU. But I don't, going into this podcast, I was like, it'd be great if he was back with Texas Tech. So I want them to be good. But now that we talked about, like, someone could just pick him up in the supplemental draft, and, I think that's interesting now too.
They're both interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be here reporting on it whenever the next shoe drops. All right. So, well, thanks for checking out our video. If you like what we got going on and you'd like to support us, a like and a subscribe would go a long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barbin, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.